This season marks a new beginning. Witness the raw power, iconic sound, and pure speed from the historic Lotus 79. Experience the competition and glory days of early 80s open-wheel action. Watch as drivers wrestle these ground effects cars into submission. Drivers will face off wheel to wheel. For some, it's a chance at redemption. For others, an opportunity to make a statement. All sharing the same goal, to be crowned champion. Who will be victorious tonight? The Lionheart Retro Series presented by Butt Kicker starts now.
Competition, commitment, excitement. This is Lionheart. The Retro Series travels down the eastern seaboard from New York to Florida for round 3 of the 2019 championship campaign. After Alex Saunders got a win in the season opener on the Homestead Oval, last round the Glens Road Course saw Abby's devoted boyfriend and real-world IndyCar driver Sage Karam devastate the competition. 28 days later, fortunately, a rage-induced virus has not devastated the world, but it has given everyone plenty of time to practice. But the time to practice is over because now it's the Plasma Tracks Grand Prix of Sebring. And you can see all the round 3 simulated Lotus 79 retro action from green flag to victory donuts live as it happens right here on the Global Sim Racing channel via the iRacing Esports Network. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Sim Experience Countdown to Green. Over the next 15 minutes, GSRC, we're bringing you all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to appreciate the Plasma Tracks Grand Prix of Sebring that will immediately follow as we count down to green. And here to do all of that is yours truly, Bill Soup Zahn, joined way up in the press box to bring you our Word's Eye view by Brian Yazik. Amjad Yaman has director duties armed with cameras locked and loaded by Dougie Beard. This is the first time Sebring has made either the Lionheart IndyCar or Retro Series schedule. So lucky for us, we have Brian Yazik to tell us what this place is all about.
Well, this is a very interesting addition into the Lionheart, the Retro Series. And once I saw the announcement come out that this is where we're heading, I kind of had the calendar marked for this event. Sebring, to any race fan, you know Sebring. Right down there in the middle of Florida. International variation is what we're playing with today, but 17 turns, 3.7 miles, and for my kilometer friends, or my metric friends, 5.955. Words and numbers are hard sometimes, but I'll tell you what, Soup, I bet you did not know that this Sebring Raceway occupies the site of the Hendricks Army Airfield, a training base for B-17 pilots that was in operation from 1941 to 1946.
I didn't know that.
And you probably, I'm not sure if you did know this, but the first 12 hours of Sebring, which is what everybody knows this place for, was on March 15th, 1952. And then from that, it grew into the grand and gesture and all of that it is right now. But hey, we could keep talking about it, but the best way for you at home to get a good understanding of this place, let's go to our GSRC lap guide and show you just what it takes to hustle this car around here.
All right, we've got Juha Nuorlampi in the GSRC Lotus 79, so let's do a lap around Sebring. Coming down the front stretch, you can immediately see just how bumpy this track is. It'll continue through turn 1, and it's hair-raising every time you send it in there. Make sure not to understeer wide, but hold to the right to the track after you exit. Turn 3 comes up fast, but offers some chances for an overtake. Just be sure to stay off the inside curb. Then we weave through 4 and 5. It's incredibly important that you take a late apex out of 5 because it leads onto a long, flat-out stretch that ends in a very popular passing zone. Put in as little steering input as possible through Big Bend, then drift to the left. The heavy braking of the hairpin will make it easy to come in too hot, and sometimes you can just watch the driver pass and you sail on through to the escape road. But if you're side by side out of here, be aware of how the pavement snakes back and forth so that you don't take each other out. Now we scream through 8 and 9, where once again, you'll mostly be trying to straighten the track out. That dumps you into Cunningham, which can be pretty ideal for overtakes. The exit is what's tricky since you've got to be gentle on the throttle. Lose it through Collier and the barriers are right next to the track, ready to gobble you up. Then, do your best to line up the braking for tower without tipping your wheels off to the left in the dirt. This inside curb is another one that I almost always try to stay off of for fear of losing the car. Finally, you've got a little bit of a breather, but it's important to get the proper line through Bishop's double apex and get your car over to the left. Keep the car settled under braking for Jean Debienne because you're taking a ton of speed through this right-left. Swing as wide as you can past the curb on the left and then give yourself a good launch out of Le Mans. It's a corner that's going to make or break your lap times because the Ullman Straight is the longest acceleration zone on the track. And though you can use the slipstream for passes, if you wind up too wide into Sunset Bend, all I gotta say is it's your funeral. It's a blind kink where you're braking on entry and then it's bumps, and more bumps. Hit one wrong and your day could be over in a flash. From off the corner, swing it as wide as you dare and then hopefully you've now finished a lap around Sebring.
And there you see just what challenges await our drivers at the Sebring International Raceway. But, before we go too much further into this, the Countdown to Green is brought to you by Sim Experience, the makers of the AccuForce Pro V2 Complete, the premier professional racing simulation steering wheel system. The key to the AccuForce Pro incredible realism is the groundbreaking direct drive motor control system, providing a driving experience that when combined with today's best racing simulators, hint, hint, you're watching it right now, this is as close as you can get to the real driving thing. For more information on the entire Sim Experience ecosystem, including the Sim Vibe software, the 3DOF, Stage Series Motion, GS-5, G4C, and they'll probably tell you everything, and there's probably a recipe in there for a great spaghetti bolognese out there. Visit simexperience.com and use promo code SIMXLION to get 5% off your Sim Vibe software.
Fans, don't you hate it when the commentators start to ad-lib the plugs? I've been told not to do that. I'm going to go and tell you about the points right now. I'm going to do this really straightforward. Let's go ahead and look at the driver standings, and this is presented, of course, by the butt kicker. Now, while the graphic doesn't show it, Sage Karam's win at the Glen jumped him 3 spots into the lead. A New York runner-up jumped Ryan Otis 9 spots, an ace and a face card behind Karam. Making his world taste good is the Candyman, Dustin Wardlow, up 7 positions. In Never Neverland, after round 1, 25th place oval finish, enter Sandman, now 10th, up 15 rungs with another road course before him today. Let's go ahead and look at the team standings right now. I'm going to talk about 2 teams. First of all, we're going to talk about Raven Motorsports Black. And really, could there be any other color for a team that is called Raven Motorsports? Anyway, they crushed it at the Glen. Get this. Okay. I'll go for that, Baltimore. Let me do the points. Scoring 147 points. That was 68 more than the next best team. The team of Raven Motorsports Black, they got Ryan Otis. He finished 2nd. Dustin Wardlow finished 4th, and James Paulson finished 6th. Man, that was a good performance by them. The other team I want to talk about last time out at the Glen was Riding Shotgun Motorsports, up 6 spots after a poor debut. They got Taft Baldwin, Adam Young, and Little Train, Lionel Callisto, scoring for them. All right, I don't know if he knows it, but I'm going to throw it over now to Brian. He's going to talk a little bit about the rookie standings.
Yeah, we're going to jump right into this here. Sage Karam, and Sage Karam as a rookie. It's kind of a fun thing to say and get used to. But there you see Jenkins there in 2nd with Ducana in 3rd. And that's going to be a good race there. Sandman in 4th and Hacker there in 5th. You can kind of see the rest of it here. We are kind of running a slightly abridged here, trying to make sure that we cover all the bases that we have to cover here on the broadcast. But it's going to be a great rookie battle. I mean, really, when you look at it, Sage Karam is doing a really good job of trying to run away with it, just like what we saw at Watkins Glen and the Roval to start out the year at Charlotte. Just run away and let everybody else filter it out from behind. Because if you look at, let me do some quick math here. 4th through 14th in the rookie points is separated by 24 points.
And there you have it. And it is going to be an interesting battle indeed. Let's go ahead now and tell you about the Lionheart League in general, considered the premier fixed setup racing league for the Lotus 79 on the iRacing service. The Lionheart Retro Series, well, it honors the memory of the late Dan Weldon. GSRC is always picking up new viewers, so for those unfamiliar with the series, let's go over the details. What do you got for us, Brian?
Round 3 of 18, we see the 2 teardrops there. I mean, we get 2 drops throughout the season. The Lotus 79 here, as we saw, the setups, an adjusted fixed setup. So this is the brainchild of Andrew Kinsella, Andrew Have-A-Catch, as you like to call him there from the IndyCar side. He's really kind of the setup guru here in the Lionheart IndyCar Series. And cash and prizes totaling $7,610.
And of course, those series details come thanks to Minus 273, the premier name in karting gloves. For more information on Minus 273 full line of gloves and apparel, visit minus273.biz. Hey, I got a promo code for you. LHRS for 25% off your order.
You know, and I would have read that plug for you, Soup, had I not scrolled down just far enough to block that whole text out.
That sounds right. We don't, we've done 3 of these now. We're getting the feel for each other here.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's what's going to happen next. I'm going to give a lead into the weather, and then you're going to talk about it. So we're here in Florida. It's a beautiful day. The alligators are happy. Brian, what's the weather look like?
Weather, what we're looking like here, partly cloudy, 79 air ambient temperature. Track temp reading 104, but in that hot Florida sun with the dynamic sky, you could see it fluctuate just a little bit, but we do get some reprise with that partly cloudy. Winds northeast at 13 miles an hour. That's a decent enough of a gust with 75% Florida humidity, which I don't think 75% is not. I feel like that's less than what it really could be.
We're happy with that number if you're in Florida. All right, we've got all the business out of the way. Now we can go to the business on the track. Qualifying is going on out there right now. Oh, my goodness. No surprise to see Sage Karam at the top. But, Brian, why don't you talk about this new guy in second?
Yeah, I was just going to point that out. Dave Walsh coming to us here this week, getting a new name out there. He's an independent driver, but he's got a spot here because Michael Thompson had to step away. You know, real life does tend to step in and ruin all the fun hobbies. So Dave stepped in. Dave is from Ireland, and he says that our races are approximately 3 a.m. his time. So that's, you talk about dedication, commitment, all the things that Lionheart really is here. He's living all of them right now, and I'll tell you what, P3 on the board, a couple tenths off of Sandman. That's not a bad debut.
I'm telling you right now, I'm hoping he makes the interview because I'm going to ask him to say they're magically delicious if he isn't.
And Dave Walsh will be quickly retiring from the Lionheart IndyCar Series.
I got a feeling he's an independent with that times he's putting in. His phones are going to be ringing. People are going to be interested in getting him signed up on a team. Hey, we talked about George Sandman. Look at that. He's sitting in number 2. Not really good on the ovals. Well, I guess in compared to what we expect for the road course.
It's not his specialty. And Sandman's really, really good on these roads, and especially now getting really kind of familiar and comfortable with the car. As you see Chris Lunini on screen, just go best his time right there. No, still P25th on there. And there you see Taft Baldwin riding shotgun. We talked about him and his team in the intro. 24, so right up there. Just in front of him, and no Adam Young from what I can see in the entry list, unless I missed him, which is entirely possible. No?
Of course, Adam Young, one of my fellow commentators. We've worked with him, but let's talk about another guy that I get to work with in the book. That's Richie Hearn. He's not out there on the track right now. He put in a 6th place qualifying. That's really good. He's going by Richard Hearn. I guess that's little his alter ego.
You gotta be distinguished a little bit. You see this amazing camera here from looking over that rear tire from George Sandman, rocking the Plasma Tracks onboard cam, plasma-tracks.com. What's our promo code there, Soupy?
Oh, I don't know what it is. Is it LRS
2019 to get 25% off your order?
Dude, we got those plugs coming up later. They got 2 onboard cameras for this one, and they're
Well, you know,
sponsoring
you
this
gotta-
one. Okay.
Just,
I'm telling you.
know.
I am going to ask to see if I can get my signature done. I know they do like racetracks, but wouldn't it be cool to have your own signature hanging on the wall? I think that would be.
It'd be great to have, but unfortunately for me, it would just be a metal piece of scribble.
Just get something out of the junk pile and send it.
Yeah. You'd see a B and a Y, and that's about it. What do we got left here? Oh, no. Qualifying is complete. And, boy, stop me if you've heard this one, Soup. Look who's on pole.
Yeah, it's the real world IndyCar driver. All right. Well, let's get to the grid right now. On the front row, we'll take it a row at a time since we got plenty of time. Sage Karam and George Salmon. That's a pretty good front row. See how that plays out, right?
Absolutely. Ryan Otis, a very strong shoe on the road courses as well, with the new guy, Dave Walsh, to his outside.
Alex Saunders is in row 6. He's going to be flanked by the Moby's Dicky machine of Justin Weaver.
Richard Hearn there on the inside of row 4 with JP Winchittle to his outside Nate.
Taking a rainbow and sprinkling it with dew is the Candyman Dustin Wardlow in the number 9 spot, flanked by Chad Dalton.
Justin Kirby hanging out there in the 11th spot with Lionel Kalisto to his outside.
In the Baker's Dozens position, it is James Paulson inside of Paul Jenkins.
Dean Mardi Gras Mall on the inside of row 8 with Travis Jagerliner outside in 16th.
One of the best paint jobs in the series. David Clymore in the 17th position. Scott Holmes is in 18th.
19th, Darren Ganji. He'll be having our Sim Experience onboard camera with Eric Block in 20th position.
In Blackjack is Frank Beezer. In the double duck spot, Greg West. Good to see Greg Wason with us today.
Oh, yeah. Ryan Corns there, 23rd, 24th, Taft Baldwin.
George Anzaldo in the quarter century mark inside of Chris Sleepy Lanini.
And that's what I get for popping a window up. Tyson Landis to 27th with Big Joe Hassert in 28th.
I love working with you because you're actually worse at this than I am. Finian DeCuna in 29th. 30th is Mark Cohn, the Watchman.
And then there we go, Outback. Ron Hacker, Mike Rigney. I'll just clean these up. Mike Eleanor Rigney, as I like to call him. Ken Hacker, Ron Hacker there, and Cody Eldred rounding out the back of the grid. You know, I was waiting to get my stats pulled up, and wouldn't you know it, it jumped all the way over to the far right screen. And that's what happened to me, Sue.
Okay, I got you. I've been there. You know what I'm hearing? Are we getting a standing start? Oh, no, okay. Scared me there for a minute.
I heard you hesitate, and I'm hearing the engines. I'm like, oh, no.
Yeah, I thought we were going around. We got a complete pace lap to go here, so we got plenty of time. Let's show you some onboard cameras, Steve. We'll start with, Director, what are we going to start with there? Let's start with Darren Ganji. Good to see Darren Rakenwich is here today. He's in the Sim Experience onboard camera scene, providing a driving experience that's second only to the real thing. Visit www.simexperience.com. And then it is George Salmon in the 06. He's in one of our Plasma Tracks onboard camera. I got a plug for this one. Plasma-tracks.com not only produces original racetrack wall art, motorsports trophies, home decor, and motorsports fabrications are also available. And then we got one more for you, and that's going to be Finian DeCuna. He's in the 94 Plasma Tracks machine. Use this promo code, we talked about it before, LRS 2019 to get 25% off your order.
Field working their way up to hairpin, turn 7. And they got the 7 and then 7A, so this is where things can get a little tricky through there. Especially, because you're going to probably see a lot of attempts. 7 is a really good passing zone, especially if you can get a good run down Big Bend, down that little, let's call it the backstretch. If you can get a run going into 7, but then the way that it cuts back really quick, you go from the great, the preferred line to the outside line and then back. So it's all just, a lot of back and forth there.
Let's take this opportunity, since we have a long pace lap, to bring up our race analysis. We'll tell you how far we're going, and I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a fuel race. Check it out. We are going 34 laps. The max fuel stint is 16, but I'm telling you, boys and girls, cats and dogs, all you guys who are watching, they lie to me. Look for some people to go 17 and see if we can one-stop this thing. Then you see the minus points there for incidents. You get, where you get 10 incidents and you're 25 incidents, you're DQ'd and you lose 10 points.
Those were lower last year, but then with the rise of potential netcode issues and stuff like that, series admins in the offseason up those up a little bit to try to accommodate some of those random moments where you'll be clear as day and all of a sudden, poof.
I tell you, we talked about the pace lap and it, having an effect on how we handle going to the grid, but it's also going to have an effect on this race because we talked about 16, maybe they can go 17, but really it's 17 and a pace lap. So can anybody get that in? And it's a long way around here. It is a full pace lap that iRacing has for us.
Yeah, 3.7 miles takes a long time. Really what I would expect is if you're going to watch guys probably try and get to 16 and then make that final stint as long as possible, because then if you think about it, you don't have that pace lap that you have to deal with. So if they can go 16 laps on top of the pace lap, that usually puts them in a good spot. But I wasn't really any good at fuel mileage racing in this car last year, so I'm just going to stop talking and let you this is why I'm up here this year.
We do have a spotlighted driver. It is Travis Jagerliner racing in the number 44. He's starting in 16th position. We will track him, and we have some video to show you later on in the race if he can keep the car in there. But right now, it's just about that time. Sage Karam with control. Competition, commitment, excitement. This is Lionheart. Sage Karam leads them down into the sweeping left-hander. That is corner number 1. The Sandman is in second time. He's going to lose a position, I think.
Big problems right out back, right in front of the field. Caution, David Cordy, put it out. Our series admin has put the caution flag out, which tosses all of that fuel strategy right out the window. There was a big junk right off of turn 2. I saw Weaver around, and I saw a bright yellow car.
Well, I think it is J.P. Winshuttle is involved in that one, and Weaver as well. Let's take a look at it.
It gets through fine here, and then something. Did he get? Oh,
Yeah.
He got loose. Okay, I thought maybe there's some contact there.
And so the rookie is picked up on this one. Now, you're watching a solar eclipse here when we see a yellow flag on a road course in the Lionheart series. Oh no, there was contact.
All right, so that angle tells a little different story.
We're going to ride on board with Winchell.
Now, heavy on fuel, cold on tire pressures. I could see how maybe, it starts to float out there. You could see he had a lot of wheel into that thing.
And the car behind that got into it, and I was going to talk about this because he had such a great qualifying, and somehow he manages to make lemons out of lemonade, and that is Richie Hearn. Oh, he blinks a little bit. That's Hearn. Watch Hearn right in front of Wardlow here. He gets a piece of it as they come around. You can see that yellow car pop. So, we come back live. Sage Karam is leading them down. I assume we are under yellow. He's pretty quick here. Okay. Coming down into sunset now.
Full course caution. Which is going to take that fuel strategy that we were just talking about and completely shred that right up.
And now here comes the pace car pulling out. He's going to pick up our leader.
Some of the guys that probably had some damage in that will pit. Just
Whoa.
to top off.
Whoa, slow down there, Sage. Wait a minute. Easy, boys.
So fast, he's got to even beat the pace car.
Gonna go old school here a little bit, but gonna pull a little Scott Goodyear at the Indianapolis 500 if you're old enough to remember. Had one taken away for passing the pace car with a few laps to go.
Yeah, that was. Oof. I remember that one.
Yeah. Gonna push my luck. Check it at home, you YouTubers. How about 1995 for that? See how good I am on that. All right. Sage Karam, Ryan Otis, George Salmon, your front three. So now what does this do? So now we have a lap under yellow. We actually 2 laps under yellow. I don't know if the pace car is going to pull in this time. So
no,
it kind of opens up. It makes a possibility of a one-stopper, right?
Oh, yeah. It's all but guaranteed now.
Okay.
Because if you're right on that fence, and the biggest thing that you find with a lot of these fuel mileage races that are real close like that, the second stint, and this is really what I've learned more over on the IndyCar side of things. That second stint, that middle stint, if you're in a 2 or 3 stint race, that's the one that you actually make the money on, not the opening stint or really even the closing stint. It's that second stint where you can go 16 plus the one lap that you're dealing with from that side already. So you're already factored in. It's already covered up. Life is good there. And I mean, you might see, you could see someone come in, like your Justin Weaver and some guys that got involved in that. Excuse me, and top it off just because run an extra lap on the other side just for giggles. But I mean, your top, however, they're good to beyond halfway.
Okay. It is a bit of a jinx to be the profiled driver, so we're going to get this out of the way while Travis Jägerlander is still out there. I can report that he is already up 3 spots. So now what you're going to look at, because we are really good here, that is a oval little view of him on an oval there, recorded from earlier, and then we are live on board as we go around. Now you can look at he has 35 career starts. I know this is top quality stuff. Let's see if the commentator doesn't screw it up. No pole positions yet, no career wins. He does have 6 top 5, so you divide 6 into 35, he gets like a top 5 every 6 races or so. I can do the math there. Top 10's about half the time. Okay, first start, hey, season 1, he was here from the very beginning. Best finish was 3rd. Nobody likes. They are all honored to be the spotlighted driver until they crash out early. Let's talk about the car in 28th position, Cody Eldred. He's our hard charger right now, up 6 spots. Boy, he got that done quick. There was only like 1 corner.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Maybe people were getting checked up. He took advantage of it.
Racing out there in the number 50 machine.
Just kind of like what I suspected. Pit road is going to be real empty.
Well, maybe if you're at the very back, you can come in and top off. That way you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah, if you're a hammerfoot like I am.
I bet you
Justin back there.
Yeah, I bet you Justin Weaver's going to come in. He was involved in that. He's going to bring the Moby Dickie's machine down in there, see if he can get the blowhole fixed on that car.
As well as Chris Lanini, Big Joe, Finney and Nucana, Mark Cohn.
Oh my goodness, yeah. A lot of people coming in.
It kind of falls into what I was saying, towards the back, just toss an extra gallon in it, or Imperial, they call these things, Imperial gallons. Amjad with the save in my right ear on that one.
Is that what I've been, is that when I get a gallon of milk, that's what it is? It's an Imperial gallon of milk?
Yeah,
right?
Well, it's better than all the rest of them around it, so
okay.
it leads everybody.
That's certainly very impressive, an Imperial gallon, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's from the time frame, middle of England there in the late 70s.
Okay, the field goes down. You can watch the pace car goes through the hairpin. Driven by the beautiful Medina Mendez out of Long Beach, California.
Making the trek there from California here to Florida. See, the nice part about being the pace car driver, you got the air conditioning.
That's true.
These drivers get
unless you're in a
there it is.
Unless you're in a Corvette at Detroit, then it's not good. That poor guy.
The bad guy. He gave the front end a lot of airflow, a lot of it.
He's married with kids. He had to go home to his family that day. Dad, you crashed the pace car. All right. These are the slowest laps you're going to see in a Lionheart event. Give a big shout out to Abby. That is our leader's girlfriend watching from the other room. They've been dating for about a year, is what I hear.
Yeah, you. I remember Watkins Glen post race. I think that fact was reminded to you.
I'm trying to get her at dinner at Outback Steakhouse, but I don't know what's going to happen.
The problem was they were probably going to Outback, and then you said that. Now they had to go to a fancier place.
I know, that's right. All right, they're down into Sunset. If you don't know Sunset Bend, it is bumpier than Tony Montana's coffee table. More bumps on it than that. That's the line I wanted to use.
And we are in Central Florida.
That's right, see?
Story checks out. Now, what we're hoping for Sage is that he can make like a flock of seagulls and run so far away.
Jeez. Here we go. Karam gets a great jump. Not a great jump from Otis. Oh, George Salmon back there stalking. How about rounding out your top five? It's the newcomer Dave Walsh and Alex Saunders, the veteran. My gosh, Saunders in fifth. That's something I've never talked about before. Hey, look at this newcomer. Look at Walsh going around the wide side.
No fear. To move Dave Walsh up to P3. That a very aggressive move on the restart.
Oh, man, he is working that car, too.
You don't see Sandman get passed like that very often. That was a very good move.
Richie Hearn got a piece of that incident on lap number 1. He did not pit. His car is in 6th. That's where he gridded up. Continues to blink a little bit, though, which is kind of par for the course for Hearn. Dustin Wardlow, Justin Kirby, Chad Dalton, and Lionel Kalisto. Hey, Little Train in 10th.
Yeah, I'm just kind of keeping my eyes through the middle of the field. The much, much more calm start there than we had on the initial start. Single file pretty much all the way back. All the way back.
Field working through Cunningham now through Collier. The leaders have already made it to Tower, going down into Bishop.
God, Sage is just so impressive. He's already got a 20 car length lead over Otis. As there you see working his way up there through, like you said, Bishop, coming around Lamar.
Now onto the Ullman straight, heading down into Sunset. Boy, he is impressive. I mean, just because he's a real-world IndyCar driver doesn't necessarily mean it's going to transfer over into this, but man, it sure does for him.
It works out, that's for sure. Back there, now you see Sandman starting to wind up just a little bit to get back up to the rear wing of Walsh. Had a little bit more, he was a little closer, maybe drove a little bit more aggressively into Sunset. And then Walsh was able to get a better run off, and now that just kind of stabilized right back off. First battle, where's that shaping up? Where's that back at?
I'm looking at Kalisto. Yeah. Working on Chad Dalton for 9th. Kalisto looks hungry here.
It is the closest one. I thought he was going to swing out there, and this is kind of what I was talking about in the pace lap. You get a good run out of there. You try and get a good run down Big Bend, sneak up a little bit of draft, and try and set up the entry into the hairpin, but it's just not quite close enough to make it work. You could dive it in there, but that's you're not going to make a whole lot of friends doing moves like that.
Man, you can really see the accordion effect. Let's go back to 13th position, side by side. Here comes the move. Oh, trying to get in there. It is Mardi Gras Mall. Really on the back of Paul Jacobs. He wants it.
Got it. He's going on to the inside. That's kind of the preferred spot, giving him a little bit of room. Clean racing. Now he's going to switch it back over, getting back up to the high side, but give Mall the position. Great job.
Up into 12th. Started in 15th.
Just up in front, and it looks like Little Train's going to start getting right back up. He was getting closer. Then he maybe got a little too aggressive on corner entry, but now down this long stretch here, really going to suck up the draft. We're on board with Lionel. Can he get the run into Sunset? He's got it.
He waits. Look at the room that Dalton gives him, though. There's a lot of racing lines through Sunset. You can get some good momentum on the white side. It's a little bumpier out there, I think.
Yeah, it is bumpy that far out, but then it gives you such a good shot coming down that front stretch. Oh, Ken Hacker, Justin Weaver. I see both of them off again. Was there problems?
Oh, let's go to David Clymer. He just got punted by Darren Ganji. Oh, no, let me it's Jaegerliner. I'm sorry, it's Jaegerliner, director.
Oh, we did.
And maybe, let's see if I misidentified Ganji. I might have here. Darren, I might have missed. Yeah, it was Clymer that got into Jaegerliner. Ganji was next on the scene, went underneath. Sorry, Darren.
Man, we're going to get no one that's going to want to be the spotlighted driver anymore.
I tell you, that's the person in the spotlight. Commentator in page 17 of the GSRC Commentator's Handbook is don't misidentify a driver on the track for doing something wrong when he has like a podcaster. Might be able to come back to you in the to the public. Hey, let's come back to 13th, director, if we can. This is Holmes, Jenkins, and now Ganji trying to get a spot. It's a good battle. Honestly, not missing anything up front. They are just putting in laps. They are spread out by quite a distance. Everybody all the way back to like 10th. The action's a little farther back than we're watching.
When we were on the replay there, I was watching the Dalton and Kalisto battle. And Kalisto got a run, dove it way down into the inside, probably going into Cunningham, but overcooked the corner entry and gave the spot right back to Chad Dalton.
We were on board with Ganji there. He got into the gearbox of Paul Jenkins. Did not touch him, but my gosh, he was really close. Ganji putting on a good run, racing in that onboard camera machine.
Stop me if you've heard this. Sage Karen, purple.
Yeah.
Fastest lap. You saw that flash across the top of your ticker up there.
There he is.
I mean, it's one thing to be leading and have a nice, healthy advantage, but then the color scheme is easy enough to spot. I mean, he's got two things working for him.
All right, they're going to put me on the... Let's go ahead and look at the caramel. I'll take a shot at the colors. This is always fun when I use my rods and cones.
Just say creamsicle,
Okay.
grape Kool-Aid, and white.
All right.
Oh, that is, yeah. Amjad brings out that Auburn football. Or baseball, basketball, whatever. Auburn University.
Auburn, yeah.
I still like, grape Kool-Aid and
I do too.
creamsicle.
Okay, I got it. I would get those colors. They were. I had them there. I would have gone with blue. I did not realize it was purple. All right. Here is the Candyman under attack by Justin Kirby. Kirby, a rookie, been really impressive. There's a battle for 7th.
Standings.
Ooh, did not find that apex, though. That one's not going to work.
So he was not clipping that apex.
No. Although, that's a good place to get some good apparel.
Absolutely. It's clipping that apex.com.
Look at the different racing lines here. I think he's going to get a pretty good drive out is Kirby.
Ooh, his Wardlow's pushing it right to the edge of the track limit there, and here we're back on board. Kirby, what happened?
I don't know. Wardlow either. I don't think he can get a slowdown penalty where he was, unless he just gave it up.
It had to have been, yeah. The only thing
Way
I can
back
think
up.
of, yeah.
That makes sense. Maybe he didn't want to serve it on the Ullman straight. Let's go full speed all the way down, serve it into Sunset. So he gives up a spot. So Kirby up now into 7th.
Fortunately, that was a good battle that was shaping up. Let me see if I can find us something. Pace car's sitting pretty.
How about we look at one of our hard chargers, Greg West in 16th position. He's ahead of Eric Block. West started in 22nd.
Name familiar.
The car behind him is Block and Frank Beezer behind him.
Yeah, name familiar. You might recognize that name also on the IndyCar side of things as well, Greg West. And not bobsled. He does the two-man skeleton. Yeah, skeleton sledding, which requires a level of fortitude.
Insanity.
No, fortitude that I do not possess in 3 lifetimes. Here, let's put you on 2 skates with some 2x4s in the middle of it and send you down an ice tube at 80, 90 miles an hour. Head first.
Good battle. He remains in 16th. Eric Block and Frank Beezer behind him there.
He's also got, I don't know if I could talk about it. He's got a new job coming up, too. He'll be more involved in some stuff. I don't want to spoil anything for him in case he has, like, a gag order or something. But that was a very aggressive move there from Eric Block, diving right out in the draft, giving that all back up, and then Greg's just going to sneak right back away, which is going to let Frank Beezer get a run at him.
And I think he's going to get him.
Get him, got him good. Going into turn one. Turn one at Sebring is a very fun turn because it is blind, but it's flat. You got the cone hanging out on the wall. Like, it's just, there's a lot that goes in there. When you get it right, it just feels that much more special. Like not lifting in Eau Rouge. Like, it's that sort of feeling.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that feeling. I think we have one retirement, and it looks like the Moby Dickie's machine has called it a night for Justin Weaver.
Yeah,
So
Ken
he
Hacker
will get
is on
34th
pit
place
road
point.
as well. Wonder if that had, those two events were connected.
Well, he was out there racing a while ago. He put in lap 5, so that was a recent pit stop for him. We might have missed something that he got caught up in.
Go see if I can just redeem this.
Boy, up front, there is this. I'll tell you right now, Karam has opened up a 4.5 second lead. Maybe we can check in on second. Maybe this is going to be a battle here. Look at these names. Ryan Otis, a veteran. Dave Walsh, the rookie, making his debut. George Salmon. They race second, third, and fourth. They're very competitive.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. It's just, and you see up to say at the sharp end of the podium. That's just where you have to be. Oh, I did find what happened. We don't have to go to replay of it. Let me see. Coming off of turn 5, Ken Hacker put a rear tire off in the grass, and when he spun across the track, the number 66 Moby Dickie's machine was waiting for him.
Oh, really?
Just sling, bang, boom, and then they both went right off into the tire barriers, right before basically turn 6 there.
Well, I'm sure they both appreciate your research there to bring up that issue.
Have a nice mailbox, nice letter in the mailbox waiting for me.
Little teammate battle going on here. Holmes and Ganji going at it. For Holgan Racing. I'm going to assume that Holgan Racing is an amalgamism of Holmes and Ganji. See how I figured that out? I'm not sure if amalgamation is the right word. But
it could be homogenized gallon.
Thank you. Okay, there you go. That'd be an imperial gallon, too.
Oh, that would.
Good race between these teammates. Let's go ahead and get in a plug for us here. This is Ganji Racing in I don't have a plug ready, believe it or not. I'll give you a plug. What car is he in? I can improvise it. Is he in the Sim Experience?
Yes, that is a Sim Experience ride.
I'll do a little breakdown of this one as we ride on board. It's what we all come to know and love. They got those great simulators that'll do it. It's the next best thing you can get. And where is that plug? Oh, this is the one where they got the 3D OF Stage Series Motion GS5 G4 seat. My gosh, is that not some Star Trek lingo there? Beam me up, Scotty, with that one. So check those guys out at SimX Lion. You get 5%. Oh, check them out at Sim Experience, SimX Lion. You get 5% off your Sim Vibe software.
Jumping back to the 16th position, the aforementioned Greg West now going to be under attack from Frank Beezer. Beezer been chucking up through the field. Started 21st and probably got, took advantage of a couple of cars spinning off in front of him, but then he's been steadily climbing forward. He got around Block and Climber the last couple laps, and now he's setting his sights on that big old rear wing of Greg West.
This is a fun battle here. This is a 4-car battle. So West is the Skeletoner or Skelenite or
yes. Greg West is The Olympian. Is that the word?
There's a pass.
Olympian. There's the pass. There you go. Come on, get the over-under. This is exactly what I was talking about.
There
Love
it
it
is.
when the racing happens like I said it would. It's so smart about this stuff. But you saw it. And Beezer got that big head of steam, went diving into the corner, and Greg West saw it coming out of the mirrors and said, all right, I'll give you the spot on entry, and I'm going to get you back on exit. And that's exactly what happened. And then just behind him, you got Block and Climber again.
And they're
dragging... Yeah, who are they dragging back up into this?
That's Corns and Jägerleiter coming.
Hey, get everybody together. Yeah, back to Greg West really quick. Olympic. There it is. That's the word I was looking for. Olympic skeleton bobsledder.
You know, when the skeletons, they should have their Super Bowl event. They should be on Halloween, don't you think? Hey, here comes Beezer making a move.
I see. Now you wonder if Frank learned the lesson the first time. He got that good run out of Le Mans, get that big head of steam down the front stretch and dive it right into Sunset. He's got the spot. Greg's probably going to try for the over-under again. Who's going to get the better run? It looks like Frank might get it off of the corner, but Greg is not giving it back up. He's going to fall back in line, though, as they cross the line.
And now, he's going to peek it out into one. Careful, hello.
Excuse me, coming through.
Wow. Tip of the hat to Beezer for not cutting him down there. That was really a late dive in there.
And I'll tell you what, Frank I can tell you what that driver's thinking right now inside that helmet going, all right, I'm going to get you this time. Now, Frank can't be too plotting because Climber is going to get a run at him behind him. But here comes Frank back again as they dive off into the corner.
Boy, these guys are putting on the show. We'll stay on this. I can tell you right now that Holmes and Ganji are still going at it. No need to go here as we are still side by side, though. Now here comes Climber, gets in there.
Frank's going to try it again, really try that deep dive up into Cunningham, but it's just not going to hold through.
And none of those three guys had a good entry into that corner. That brought Block and Jägerleiter in there again. All right, we're going to leave that one. We're going to check up on our leaders here. This battle continues to close in a little bit, Brian. Otis, Walsh running them down about 6 car lengths back right now?
Just a little bit as we're getting on here. Let me jump up to that battle. Yeah, Otis has been holding a steady wheel, but Walsh, not too bad for the new guy. Just trucking along, keeping his nose clean, and repping off some really competitive lap times. I mean, last time by, Karam was a 49.42, and Walsh was a 49.76. I look at lap times. That's the easiest way to tell the rise, the fall, the come, the go, a little bit of everything. But now let's see how Otis handles this slower traffic of Winchittle right in front of him. One JP getting way out of the way. Good on you, bully.
Yep. Sandman coming as well.
I have so many Metallica puns just waiting to go. You can't get them all out this part of the season.
That's right. There's plenty of races to go. And he's a full-time driver. So.
Racing until December here in this series.
All right, let's check back in on this battle between the teammates. This is Holmes and Ganji. Now, if they weren't teammates, I'd be on this a little bit more. I'll tell you what, though, Ganji has been on the back of Holmes a few times.
That line there for teammates, the golden rule of racing, don't wreck your teammates. It's something you always try and struggle with, or not necessarily struggle with, but you try and balance out racing hard and aggressive and clean. Because one mistake and you wreck a teammate, that's just an uncomfortable conversation.
I really like that roadkill camera. Look, our director takes away that graphic so we get complete across the view of it. Man, that is good looking.
Here we're going to really get a good glimpse of how bumpy this corner is.
Hey, the blimp. I've crashed looking at the blimp.
mean, these open cockpit cars, they could wave at the blimp driver. He might not see him, but they could wave.
Let's go to 19th with Block if we can. This is heating up. Jägerliner in the mix. The Watchman, Ryan Cohn, back in 21st, trying to get in there as well. But here comes Jägerliner. Down inside of 1. He's going to wait. Boy, patience.
He's trying to take a very shallow entry there into that corner to
cost
try
him.
and set up the run. And yeah, that's really going to put him back into the clutches of, Corns and Taft Baldwin back there. Now, we did talk about this a little bit on the intro of the race. Pit window's going to start opening up here within the next 2 or 3 laps. So we're going to, we kind of know how it's going to shake out, but when do you make that final stop is going to be the fun thing to watch. Is everybody going to dive to pit road the split second that Sage Karam does? Or, the general I follow when I'm holding the wheel is if you follow the leader, you're going to continue to follow the leader.
Okay, help me out on this now, because I always get confused because I'm not that bright. Karam is working lap number 14. This is a 34-lap race, so halfway is 17. So does that mean he has to pit on lap 16 and cross to get to 17, or does he have to complete 17 and...
You want to complete 17...
Come in at the end of lap 17 is what you're saying?
Yes, that's
okay.
Ideal. Okay. There are a lot of instances in racing that ideal and what you want don't necessarily line up nicely. So you kind of take the situation that you're placed in. Now, I think even if they pit on 16, crossing the line to 17 with that extra lap that they kind of ran, they should be fine.
Okay.
Should being the key word. I've worked with technology for a very long time, and I technology and racing kind of have the same philosophy. You never use terms of absolute. Should, maybe, probably, could be, possibly.
Oh, let's go to Lionel Callisto.
Oh.
We're going to go to Callisto first on this one. Now, I haven't seen it yet, so we'll look at it. I'll watch it live with you.
Yeah, he got a little hot going through, the 2, 3, 4, and 5. Really, that quick little section of corners, and then when it drifted out on him, probably let's call that turn 5, it just snapped.
Okay, and then Wardlow got it. Do we have that one, Director, too? Okay. Now this is Wardlow. When Schittle is really loose here, really slow, and Wardlow just misjudges the closing rate.
Oh no.
So Dustin was yeah.
Oh, that's odd.
Now he's there. Oh, it's that late move.
Well, and even that, so when Schittle was going 144, with Dustin was probably a couple car lengths back. And then at the moment of impact, when Schittle was going 120. So I wonder if maybe there was some mechanical issue.
And it looked,
when Schittle looked up in the mirror and saw and tried to get out of the way, and they just anticipated the move at the wrong time.
Yeah, I think he might have been trying to get out of the way. He was going to go right, says, oh, I'm in the middle, and it's just, you don't want to be weaving if you're that guy. I know it's weird. So what happened there? I want to just tell you what's going on. Callisto was racing in 9th. He's gone. Wardlow is racing in 8th. He's out.
So does that bump that big pack that we were covering up here?
Well, let me say Wardlow, I guess, is not out. I still see him driving. That car, he's got a tough front end.
I mean, it doesn't look the prettiest, but it's getting there.
Well, pit window's opening up soon, so just keep going. All right, here's a nice battle we're looking at.
Back to the Beether battle.
Yep. I can report. Remember we were talking about Holmes? Let's go up to Holmes real quick, because Mardi Gras. Oh, look at this. This is Mole now side by side with Holmes. Mole had made it through these guys.
Yeah. Oh, is that some rear wing damage there on Mardi Gras?
Yeah.
I wonder what happened there.
Looking to see, he's had it all this lap, so Must have happened a while ago. And you know what I said? He got through. In fact, I found he got a loose and put it in the ground. Yeah,
Mardi
there
Gras
it is.
goes around.
So we look at that. He comes back around. I was talking about Mole. I thought Mole was charging, but actually he wasn't. He was falling back into the clutches of Holmes and Ganji after that rear wing issue. So Holmes now up to 11th, Ganji into 12th. And they'll also pick up more positions when because Kalisto is out.
Take a minute for scoring to catch up there.
Yeah.
Paulson made a very good move into turn 1 to get around Chad Dalton, so that battle is kind of simmered out for the 8th position. And I would expect Sage and Ryan and Dave, I'd probably expect them either pit road this time or next time. Which would be right to the window. Big Joe also retired, so Tyson Landis as well. I wonder if we're missing something else back there too.
Now the Watchman, Mark Cohn, has made a stop, but he's been out for about 14 laps, so he must have had to come in for some damage. I don't see anybody who's made one here in the window.
No, but it'll be there. This time, I mean, Sage is going by to cross the line now. That's halfway. That's P8 there. That's lap 18. So,
okay,
throw fuel out the window. We got to find something else to talk about now.
Got it. Well, good. They can race. It's sometimes a little frustrating to watch people have to lift all the way around. Good battle here for 6th position.
Imagine being the one holding the steering wheel for that one.
This is Justin Kirby. Richie Hearn, qualified in 7th, racing in 6th, was involved in that first lap incident. I really thought the car picked up damage, but he's done a good job of keeping it out there in the number 70. But here comes Kirby. Boy, Hearn was really sawing there.
Getting every bit of that he could. I mean, I see the front. Is it the... Well, I swore the front wing on the 70 machine was turned up at one point.
Yeah, I see it a little bit too. Looks like the front right might be a
little bit more elevated than it should be.
Yeah, give them a little extra downforce into those right-handers. So Kirby's coming up. Chances are that Kirby's going to be able, because Hearn will have to take some repairs. Kirby should be able to snake Hearn after the pit stop. Be interesting to see if Richie can get out in front of James Paulson, who races about 14 seconds back. All right, now here's Dustin Wardlow. Remember, we thought he was going to have some issues. He loses a spot to Ganji. This is another... You know, the window is open, Candyman. Come on in.
Yeah, I mean, come on in. The water's fine.
Yeah. Holmes has driven away from Ganji. We're watching that battle. He's opened it up by about 2 seconds.
I think Sage is on pit road right now.
Here we go. Karam, Otis, Walsh, Sandman, Saunders, they're all coming. Richie Hearn comes around. He's going to come in as well. Somebody stay out and lead a lap. Nobody's doing it.
Just to follow up on a thought from earlier, Big Joe Hassert, Tyson Landis, both single car incidents is what brought them out. So to any of the Big Joe or Tyson Landis fans out there, it's secretly diving back through the footage, seeing what I could. Coming off the pit road, yeah.
Otis gets out
Walsh
just
is right there.
He's coming. Pit stop times for Otis, 32 seconds, cone to cone. Walsh, about 31 and a half.
Yeah, that's I mean,
You know, it's fascinating. I think this speaks a lot to the talent level of how the Lionheart every season it gets tougher. Alex Saunders, now maybe he's not feeling it, but last season he was untouchable. I mean, it was him and Blocker were just the two guys, but He's back in 5th. He's got nothing for the guys in front of him.
Yeah, it's just kind of that weird thing that you run across, as the seasons go on and as things go on by from that side. The talent levels come up, tracks change. I mean, the Lotus hasn't changed probably since it hit the service, so you don't really have to worry about that. But I mean, a lot of this, the road game really stepped up. I mean, he didn't.
Yep.
He had Saunders had to deal with Otis a lot, I think, in the first couple weeks, but then Otis was gone most of the season. So speaking of Otis, he had a big stumble coming off of Le Mans, and that's just letting Dave Walsh get right to that rear bumper. Look at this camera. You're going to see that blue and red car get a lot closer, swinging it to the outside. Dave taking the long way around.
Watch the momentum off of here.
Oh, Otis is going to power off from the bottom, but don't give up just yet. Swoops it right back down the front stretch, getting right into that draft. And probably going to try and set up a move in turn 1.
He holds him off, but a little bit of a learning experience there for Walsh.
Let's file that one back into the memory banks.
Hey, I just want to put a little exclamation point here or a period on one of the things we were talking about. Go to 6th position. Remember, we talked about Hearn and Kirby. They were racing in that order that I just told you. And after the pit stops, it's Kirby and Hearn now.
Oh, that's a little flip-flop there. Everybody pretty much pit at the same time. I think Mark was still on pit route, or still out. Or did I just...
no, I think...
Tef Baldwin, Eric Block is on pit road now.
Yeah. There you go.
Maybe my timing and scoring hiccuped over Mark Cohn.
Okay. The battle is for second that we're watching right now. You're on board with Dave Walsh, and if you don't know who you're following, well, just look at the wing. It's Otis.
that part makes it kind of simple to look at who you're following. Oh, look at that, taking that really wide entry, trying to straighten off Le Mans, get a good run down the backstretch. Otis handled that corner a lot better than he did the lap before. He's going to gap Walsh just a little bit. But if these guys get to messing around a little bit, you're going to have Sandman coming back into this fight, and I guarantee you, once they all start getting that way, Saunders is going to jump back up into it.
27 drivers still on the lead lap. We're working lap number 20.
Let's jump on board. Whoa, who's that? Oh, Ron Hacker, just trying to stay out of the way. I looked up, saw a car getting in the grass. We need to jump around, but God, Dave is just getting a good run at things. They're getting a good run at Ryan, just every so often. Look at that, right up there to that rear spoiler or that rear wing once again. Try and get a run here. Try working their way up into Cunningham, I think.
Great battle. I was going to give a shout out to Mark Cohn for being a hard charger, but he just came in for a pit stop, making his second one, so that's not going to work.
Yeah, 30th to 11th right there before the pit stop.
Yep.
But he's rolling, so I don't think he lost too many spots. He's coming out right there by Greg West. Let's not jump too far away from this battle.
Yeah, this is where we're going to...
This is good stuff.
My gut tells me, Brian, that once Walsh gets around Otis, he could pull away. I mean, it looks like he's just trying to find a way around.
Yeah, I mean, I really think Walsh has got a good line there. They see Otis taking the defensive line, kind of taking that line away. But yeah, you got to try something. Swinging it back out to the outside. Here comes Dave Walsh. Going to try the over-under yet again. I've seen this work several times. You take that real high, wide exit and swoop it right down and try and get a run into one.
But Otis has used that line a couple times now, that tight line. He gets a really good drive out of Sunset, which takes away any momentum value that Walsh has.
Yeah, I did. Otis really probably is one of the cleanest lines through Sunset. And the way that that car handles that corner, probably one of the best I've seen all night. The way that he takes that corner, whatever he's got working, it worked.
1.5 seconds from Walsh back to Sandman. And they keep trying to challenge him. Now they're coming up on Cody Eldred. Let's see what Cody can do. He can't make his car invisible. They're going through Fangio down into Cunningham.
And you saw Walsh there at the hairpins, just poked his nose out just a little bit, just to try to get in the mirrors of Ryan Otis, going into that corner. Cody gets the kid out of the way, man. That was a good call for him.
And now he's got Sandman behind him. George is going to catch him at a pretty good spot, and he gets that well. Sandman does not lose much ground. About a second, 0.6 back.
You guys have gapped Sandman and Saunders as well.
All right, here we go again. We head to Le Mans. I've watched the last 3 times. Otis takes it all the way over to the right, leaves about a car length between him and the right side. There's room for Walsh to duck it in on the right if he really pushes it. Let's see if he tries it.
Not quite yet. You get down to 1 or 2 to go. That's when you're going to see that move happen. So you're going to try and swing it up. Maybe Walsh was watching because he adjusted his line just a little bit, trying to get a little bit more of a straighter run off of the bottom. And you see, I think it maybe worked. He's real close going into 1, probably a little bit closer than he has been. And then just in front of that is the slower machine of Chris Lanini. I think he's going to probably get up to that corner and probably just get out of the way as well. Oh, they caught him kind of at the worst spot there.
Boy, they did.
Oh, Lanini, hang on to it, buddy. Came off that corner, drifted, and just stayed far left. And there we go. Walsh
down into the hairpin. Let's see if he forces the issue here. He's there if he wants to put it on the brake.
He's there. Oh, he just can't get that run back, but he might hit him. Now, can Otis mount the charge back? That's going to be the fun part to watch because now Otis is going to be able to he's going to be the one drafting and not the one pulling the train.
That pass cost him about a half a second as Sandman is now only 1 second back.
Yeah, just going to bring them right back into it. The draft effects in this car probably Sandman is probably right at the fringe edge of it. Maybe going down to that long straight after Le Mans, he could start to feel it just a little bit, but not to the effect that anybody else is getting.
Come out here. Look at the drive out of Le Mans from Walsh.
That was good. That was a power move right there. So now that has settled down just a little bit, let's jump on board with the number 94 machine for Finian Dakota. He's got the other Plasma Dash Tracks.com promotion there.
And I'm telling you, if you're looking for something for the guy who has everything, check him out. You want to go to plasma-tracks.com to look at all their stuff. It's amazing what they can do. And then we got the promo code for you, LRS 2019, 25% off your order. It's really worth going to, and it's really amazing what they do.
As the proud owner of a new man cave, I browse their website at least once or twice, probably every other day.
Check in on 6th position. This is that battle we've been watching. Hey, we missed it. Herd's back in front of Kirby.
You got back around him at some point in there.
Let's go ahead and talk about our hard charger. I was going to talk about Mark Cohn, but then he had to make a pit stop, but he's back out. Let's give the Watchman a little love. Racing in 17th, up 13 spots. All by himself.
Yeah,
11 laps to go.
I figured he would come out somewhere after that in that cycle. Somewhere, obviously gaining on that side of things. But that's a very solid run for Mark.
And he's made 2 stops.
Because he was one of the ones that pitted early. That's how he got so long.
Oh, on
the cycle. That's what it was.
That's what fooled me. That's why he could run long. Thanks, Brian. Good call.
Had to think that one back out.
The first stop really didn't count, did it? That's right. And Baldwin makes the pass. Move him up into 18th, around Greg West. They are about 4 seconds behind Cohn that we just talked about. Whoa. Let's go ahead and check in back on the driver in second. Oh my goodness, sometimes I'm right. Once Walsh did get around Otis, starting to pull away. And look who's coming. The Sandman is now right there.
Just making a run at it. That's the thing. Sandman, just what do you think? You got him shook. He's not, you see him well in your back mirror. Life is fine. And then you look up and it's like, oh, wait, where? How?
All this going behind Sage Karam, who's up by 15 seconds. I'll tell you right now, May cannot come fast enough for the guys in the Lionheart Retro Series when Sage has to go to Indianapolis and actually do some real-world racing. There we look at Karam.
Although I did think, I thought I read something. It could have been a joke on the Lionheart Discord, but Sage might try to race from the hotel room or something like that is what I thought I heard.
I'm looking to see if he can sneak a Lionheart sticker on his IndyCar. That would probably some expensive real estate there, but
it would. You gotta discreetly tuck it away somewhere. Maybe on the headrest behind where the helmet goes.
They should give him, we go down to P13, some bonus points in the series if he can mention Lionheart in any interviews.
And it's a good tie-in because you could easily. Oh yeah. Oh, that'd be good.
Talking to Robin Miller, say, I'm trying to squeeze India in between my Lionheart schedule.
I can already hear Robin. And what the hell is that?
Paul Jenkins racing in 13. Marty Gromboll right behind him.
Ooh, hang on to it, buddy.
Now he's a little farther behind. Love that paint scheme. Were you telling me that was done by his little girl? His daughter did that one? Is that
he printed out the template. Or no, he didn't print out the template. He had a Wacom tablet or something like that.
Beautiful.
And just let her go nuts. And he took the car and did some tweaks and put it on the template. It's the second time, if I remember the story right, it's the second time he's done that.
I like that one. I like that one right there. Honey, whatever your name is, you did a good job on Daddy's car.
Absolutely.
Right now he's got Frank Beasley. He's got more to worry about.
Blue and yellow machine. That kind of reminds me, Frank's car kind of reminds me of the old Renault when Alonso was there the first time. Mile 7. Yeah, it was more of a powdery blue. Yeah, but I glance up and every single time I think of that scheme.
I don't know. It feels like there should be an auto parts sponsor on there.
I could see that.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Starts with N and ends with A with an A and a P in there somewhere.
Rhymes with there's a cabbage after it, right?
All right, I'll go with it.
Or there's a valley in California that produces a lot of wine.
Oh, going around! That was Dean Bull. Oh, did he get loose or did he not see him or I'm not sure what happened there.
Is there a see all of the above?
Man,
hey,
Frank doesn't know how lucky he got here. Oh. Oh, and here comes Jägerliner now, our spotlighted driver, working on Mole.
And dive it on in there.
I don't think Dean's happy right now. I don't think that car is feeling good.
I mean, maybe it's the big bend in that rear wing that might be causing it to not be happy.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
I know I'm not my happiest when I have a pain in my rear end, and that's not working right.
Yeah, that probably has something to do with it. Let's go back up front. Let's look at Otis. They're working their way around George Anzaldo. Sandman trying to get him. A gap 0.6 of a second. Walsh up by about 0.7. Once he drove away, maybe he's just minding the gap.
He might be minding the gap, but they also, like I was talking about, the Lotus does pick off a pretty good draft, so that could be minimizing it. And there's just long enough straights there, from turn 5 to turn 7, up and around Fangio and down through Bishop and off of Le Mans. It's probably keeping it just close enough.
Director, there are two drivers that haven't got a lot of love for us. They're having good races. Can we go to 8th position? We'll talk about James Paulson real quick. And he's being chased by Chad Dalton. We really haven't talked much about these guys. Paulson's up about 5 spots, and Dalton up 1. Just doing what, not causing any trouble, just back there putting in laps, and we'll see if Dalton can run down Paulson here with 6 to go.
Shot there, going to this track just makes some nice scenery.
Yeah, it
Tell
does.
you that. I mean, it's flat. You get great visuals from anywhere.
Nice flat property. They could put an airport here.
They could.
Hey, let's check in on 6th position. We've been watching this battle. Hearn able to distance himself from Kirby a little bit now. Try to follow up on all the stories we've been watching throughout the event. I do worry a little bit about Richie's connection there. He continues to blink a little bit for me. He's got himself a new home somewhere
every once in a while.
Somewhere in the desert of Nevada. So it's out there where like Area 51, I think. All right, here he comes now. Oh, Otis is in the grass. What? And there goes, and that's Saunders that sneaks by on the inside. Woo.
Is that just a little flip up there? Is there some damage on that machine? I think he's clean.
Yeah.
Just trying to get a little. Yeah, just trying to get too much out of that car.
Honestly, a tip of the hat as he brought the car back on in a nice save. I know I got excited as Saunders was going on, but Otis had the car going straight. Saunders had a good view at him, even though it was a little exciting. I don't think it was really an issue. So now, Sandman up into 3rd, Saunders in 4th, and Otis with that mistake. He was in 2nd a while ago. He's now in 5th.
I don't think we mentioned we have 6 to go.
This has been an interesting race. It's not a whole lot of passing, but it's been fun to watch drivers work their way up. Let's check in on 10th position real quick. This is Holmes. This is another battle we were watching. Remember Holmes and Ganji? Well, those teammates have separated themselves now by about 4 seconds. Holmes seems to be a little faster than Ganji. Nevertheless, both those drivers, they started 18th and 19th, and they raced 10th and 11th, so those teammates have worked their way through the field. Nice little battle back. I guess we got to check in on Beezer again as he's Jägerliner, our spotlighted driver, trying to get this spot. Oh, it's lemon time.
Oh. Yeah, that was not coming back.
This is on the straightaway.
Wonder if maybe the bumps out of Sunset caused it to get unhappy, or if maybe he clipped the dirt on exit. That's my guess.
He spotted crossing the line. Oh.
Okay.
Looked like it caught a bump. I don't know. I'm gonna try one more time on this one. No, he's all by himself. Yeah.
Huh.
I think he broke a shock. That's what I'm just saying there. I didn't blame a mechanical problem with the car.
You know, something's weird when Soup and I both are up here speechless.
Oh well, if that's gonna happen to anybody, that's gonna happen to Richie Hearn. I mean,
yeah,
it's lollipops on the chicken wire for him. Sometimes you don't know what's going on.
Oh.
Okay, a message from Richie Hearn. This kind of says it all. Don't ever let go of the steering wheel with both hands. Okay.
That'll do it.
That's
Wipe your brow. Wipe your brow.
That's a guy who's actually raced at the Indy 500. You think he might have learned that lesson? I guess you can get away with stuff. You can be a little more reckless when you don't have to pay for the car or the hospital bill.
We'll do it.
Look at P7. Hey, we talked about these guys. Remember, we were highlighting Dalton and Paulson here. So
just silently but steadily climbing up through it, and now Dalton up to the 7th spot. So that's a good run for him if we're going to go on board there.
Yeah, not only does Dalton get the pass on Paulson, but he vultures the Richie Hearn spot as well. So things are going north for Dalton.
Yeah. Moving on up. Shout out to Kirby just in front of him too. 11th to 6th.
Look at Kirby. All the same battles out behind there. We've been watching Beezer and Jägerliner. Doesn't look like Jägerliner has much for Beezer. I expect him to keep that spot. 15 drivers on the lead lap. Dean Mole, the last one. I think he's going to be hard-pressed to finish on the lead lap. That car, not feeling good. In fact, when the leader comes behind a car that is so damaged as Mole, maybe we should watch this just in case something goes wrong here between the two. Don't know how long it's going to take Sage to get there. I don't think it's going to be too long.
Yeah, shouldn't be. Probably, best case scenario, where are they working at? They're in Cunningham right now. Best case scenario, with a 16-second lead, you can just follow them until Le Mans, and then just pass them down the street.
They work through Tower. Karam with a, oh my goodness, 19 seconds. Check his luggage for stolen towels because he has checked out. All right, here we go. And sure enough, my co-commentator had it figured out. He's going to get him on the straight.
You get the draft, sneak on by.
As long as Mole keeps both hands on the wheel, I don't think it'll be a problem.
Yeah. That one's not getting lived down anytime soon.
Not even both hands. Just one hand will do. This really simple math.
So many comments.
Walsh in second, Sandman in third, Saunders in fourth, Otis in fifth. I don't think that's going to change much.
No, I mean, closest battle. Yeah, closest
There it is.
battle we're seeing on screen
This is the
between
Jägerliner
Jägerliner and Beezer. Oh, let's go to Holmes and Paulson. Oh, no! Holmes was spinning. Oh! Paulson really got into the corner hot, and then they just, get down to the end of it. No quarters given. And then...
That's Ron Hacker who parks the car, and that's Darren Ganji who goes around the outside. We'll look above, so... So was that... That was a pass for position for Holmes.
Was.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah.
Paulson, drove it in a little deeper, and Holmes wasn't given any more room.
Boy, that's tough to call there. Is that?
Oh, we got one spun off. We got one spun off of the backstretch, and it's Frank Beezer.
Beezer. That's the battle we were looking at with Jägerliner coming on. This spin is not because of Beezer, it's because of Jägerliner. That's all pressure. Jägerliner had been following him, stalking him like an ex-lover not happy about the prefix. Just back here. Boom.
And how I discovered that is because I jumped up to Sage, see where he was at in relation to the last lap of the race, and there's a blue car sitting backwards on the track.
So while all that's going on, Karam has gone under the flag that has no pigment. He's on the white flag lap, heading down in the hairpin. 21-second lead. Wake up, Abby. Sage is coming home with another victory.
Maybe this week they'll go to the Sizzler. Oh, Paulson he's just mowing some grass, getting way out of the way.
Coming around. The guys behind Sandman and Saunders all working through traffic. Karam just has corner number 16. And then Sunset Bend, which he has negotiated 33 times already without a problem.
It's all sunsets here for Sage working down that backstretch.
Gonna make it 2 in a row. Out of Sunset. Sage Karam is gonna pick up the Plasma Tracks Grand Prix at Sebring. Round number 3.
Back at the second spot, Dave Walsh has got it, and Sandman's closing in fast, but I think Sandman's just going to run out of real estate here. Going into Sunset for the final time. Walsh taking a very high and then low exit. He should hold off that position, should hold off that charge.
I'm going to get my interview, I hope, if he hasn't figured out. Dave Walsh gets second. George Sandman gets third. Alex Saunders is able to get fourth. Ryan Otis in fifth. Is there another battle out there? I think all the nonsense that happened has taken away anything that's close. Ganji, let's point this out. Ganji, who had been following Holmes the entire race. Darren's going to get 8th after his teammate Scott Holmes had that incident. He gets 9th. David Clymer's going to round out your top 10. As he is a bit of a climber today, as he's up 7 spots. And as everybody comes around with Paul Jenkins, the last car on the lead lap. Can we get Paul a little, I don't know if we talk much about Paul. There he is. Well, that's Holmes. Let's give Jenkins a little bit of attention. There he is. Didn't talk much about Paul. Good race from him. Up 3 spots. The racing is over here in Florida, but our broadcast is not. We'll take a short break, but we will come back for the Plasma Tracks post-race victory lane show or something like that. We'll run down the entire finishing order, talk to all the drivers before we put a lock on the gate. Don't go far. You're watching GSRC on IESN.
The Sim Pit is an entertainment channel dedicated to the world of simulated motorsports. The Sim Pit is a leader in providing the sim racing community with news, reviews, interviews, DIY pieces, and instructional videos to make sim racing a better experience for all. Check us out at thesimpit.com or go to YouTube and just search for The Sim Pit.
Welcome back to the Plasma Tracks Grand Prix at Sebring and the Plasma Tracks Victory Lane post-race show. Let's talk a little bit about Plasma Tracks since they are the sponsor of the race and also the sponsor of this post-race show. If you're struggling to find something for the person who has everything, I have the website for you. Plasma-Tracks.com. They produce original racetrack wall art, but also motorsports trophies, home decor, motorsports fabrication. That's also available. I could try to tell you how cool their stuff is, but it really wouldn't do you any justice. What you need to do is go ahead and go to the website and look at it. But I'm warning you, once you do, you're going to try to tell whoever controls the purse strings in your house why you need a Plasma Tracks wall art hanging in your home. See all the plasma-tracks.com stuff at plasma-tracks.com. Your promo code is LRS2019 to get 25% off your order. And now let me bring you not 25%, but an entire 100% of the HPP finishing order here for the Plasma Tracks Grand Prix at Sebring. Your winner, it's wire to wire for Sage Karam, including a pit stop. Noah was able to lead a lap. Dave Walsh comes home in second. George Sandman and Alex Saunders go third and fourth. Ryan Otis was in second until Wash got around him, and then a mistake cost him 2 more positions to Sandman and Saunders. He has to settle for fifth. Back half of your top 10, Justin Kirby, Chad Dalton. Darren Ganji, who followed his teammate the entire race, comes home ahead of him, as Scott Holmes gets 9th. Rounding out your top 10, it's David Clymer. Brian?
In the 11th position, Paul Jenkins with Travis Jagerliner, our spotlighted driver, in the 12th spot. Unlucky 13 to Dean Mardi Gras Mall with James Paulson there 14th. 15th, the hard charger Mark Cohn with Finian Ducuna 16th. Greg West 17th. Then Ryan Corns in the 18th spot with Taff Baldwin 19th. And Eric Black in 20th.
Hidden Blackjack, George Enzaldo in the double X-Pac, Mike Rigney. 23rd, 24th, and 25th goes to Chris Sleepy, Lenini, Coney Eldred, and Frank Beezer. Behind them, Ron Hacker, Richie Hearn, who had an issue on the straight, going to get 27th position. Dustin Wardlow, the Candyman, in 28th. 28th, look at these big names back here. 27th, 28th, 29th, Hearn, Wardlow, and Lionel Little Train Callisto. I'll just wrap these up. There's only a handful left. Big Joe Hassard in 30th, the last 4 spots. Tyson Landis, JP Winchittle, Ken Hacker, and the Moby Dickie's machine of Justin Weaver comes home in last. All right, it is time for interviews, and I have the pleasure of talking to, who am I getting here? It looks like I am getting, if I can find my spot. Oh, I get the winner, Sage Karam. Sage, congratulations, wire to wire.
Yeah, thanks. It was a good one. It's always tough track to handle, especially in these cars with out of the corners. You got to be really really careful on throttle. The rear end gets out, but I was lucky enough to break the draft early. That's kind of the name of the game in these cars is try and break the draft. If these things have a pretty big draft, and if you don't break it, I'd say it's worth at least a second a lap. So, yeah, I was able to get a good jump on the restart. I actually had a really good race start, and I was really happy about that. And then we had a yellow flag, and I was like, oh no, like, that kind of stinks. But then I had just as good as the restart, so that was good. Then just put my head down and just ran clean laps and did what I could.
I think the biggest battle you had on the track was with the pace car early on when you passed it there, but you got that figured out.
Yeah, we had the pace car figured out, and then no, I actually had some sketchy moments in traffic. There was with like 3 laps to go, somebody spun coming onto the back straight, and he was like kind of like not holding the brake, and it was coming back towards the fast lane where I was, and I didn't know if I should duck it back to the inside, and I started to go back inside where he was, and then he slammed the brakes, so then I had to come back out to the outside. And then there was one guy who I went to go pass and on the straight, and instead of like, usually guys either just stay flat or they go to the inside, but he just like stayed in the driving line and lifted, and I nearly ran him over, and I had to slam on the brakes to avoid him. So had some sketchy moments in traffic, but other than that, it was a lot of fun.
I'll get you out of here on this one. When do you head to Indianapolis for real?
I go to Indy on May 8th, and I'll be there, basically 3 weeks. So I'm gonna take out my old G27 and Fanatec V2 pedals, and I'm gonna
I,
mount them to the kitchen table.
I told you it was going to
Uh,
happen, Soup. I told
ah,
you.
Yep, I'm gonna literally mount them to the kitchen table of the Airbnb house that I rented out for the month, and hopefully their Wi-Fi is good. But I'm literally driving out so I can take, like, I'm driving from PA to Indy, which is like a 10-hour drive, so I can take my computer, and um I have the two Lionheart IndyCar races at Belle Isle I got to do while I'm there, and whatever is in retro. I don't even know. I didn't look at that schedule yet, but um yeah, and then at Pocono this coming week. I'm gonna be in Indy as well, for a test, and I'm gonna be using my buddy Gabby Chavez's sim for that race as well.
It's not a
oh,
bad thing to have.
oh, this is funny. All right, well, good luck in the real world as well in the sim world. We'll see you down the road.
Yep, thanks guys.
Yeah, if he wins from like the trailer on a
Oh,
that's not fun.
I'm just going to
Yeah,
turn in my wheel and give up.
yeah.
Turn in my
Let's
steering
take a
wheel for a microphone. We're done.
start commentating online poker. Who you got?
I've got a new guy, Dave Walsh. Welcome to Lionheart. Welcome to GSRC, and welcome to the podium. Tell us about your night.
I mean, it went pretty well. I thought George was quicker than me before the race started. I also thought Sage was slower than me though, so that didn't go very well. I When Alex Saunders joined, I'd forgotten about him. I thought he was going to beat me, and then I qualified at fourth, and I've forgotten how I got into third. Oh yeah, I was behind Ryan Otis for like the entire race. And then finally, I was very inconsistent. I made loads of tiny little mistakes throughout the race. So I'd get like 0.4 behind him, and then I'd drop back to like a second back and have to crawl back up again. And then eventually I got past him, and he seemed to drop back behind me. So I don't know if he was holding me up or he started making mistakes, but he seemed to drop back. And then from then it was just, well, I was just happy driving around clean air. It was going pretty well. And then on like the last lap, I think it was the last lap, passing a lap car, I obviously didn't see I was there. He ran me off the track out of, I don't know, say the hairpin, but he ran me off the track. So I was going through the grass and ended up with George like 0.4 behind me for the rest of the lap. So that was definitely closer than it needed to be at the finish. But other than that, yeah, pretty good race.
You put it that way, completely uneventful. Life is fine that way. So what time is it? Because you're over in Ireland, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
Yeah, I
So
did try
what
to
time
sleep
we
earlier.
got?
I tried to sleep earlier, and I ended up watching documentaries for like 3 hours, so it's 5:18 in the morning right now, and I think I'm just not gonna bother going to bed. I'll just leave it. I'll just stay up. Uh, yeah, so I'll probably regret that, but yeah, be grand.
I mean, hey, as long as the documentaries were good and worth watching, and you've got a good podium finish out of it. Are you going to hang around for the rest of the season? Are you part time filling in? Like, what's kind of what's the story here? Are we going to see more of you?
With the time difference, I have school for basically all of May, so I won't race during May, and then after that I'm just full time. So I will be back in school for the end of the season, but I think I'll just get up really early or stay up really late or do something. But yeah, so the next 3 races I'll miss, but then from then it's full time.
Sounds like a solid option. Congratulations on your second place finish in a kind of a debut race for you. So always a good way to be, and we will probably see you then first race that we're going to have in June, if I'm catching what you're saying correctly.
Yeah.
Well, sounds good, Dave. Congratulations, and we'll see you then.
Thanks.
All right, that accent was very disappointing. Not heavy enough to even try a magically delicious. So let's go to
God.
Yeah, let's go to George Sandman. George, slow early. I was a little bit worried about you, but you able to pick up the pace. George didn't like my comment about him being slow early, so he's not going to talk to me. You were only slow in relationship to the guys who are next to you. George, you got a copy? Sandman is sleeping. Let's go. Let's go ahead. We'll try somebody else to bring George back. I get to talk to Paul Jenkins. Paul with a great finished on the lead lap. Paul, you have a copy?
I got you there, Soup. What's going on?
Hey, 11th position, up 3 spots from where you started. Stayed out of trouble for the most part on the lead lap. Gotta be happy with that.
Yeah, I can't complain considering where I started. I kind of lucked into a couple of positions there, but I sort of resolved. I know I wasn't nearly as fast as the front runner, so it was just consistency, and it paid off. This track, it's really bumpy, and it'll come up and bite you without a moment's notice. So you really kind of have to be ginger. And tell you, I was up on the wheel all 34 laps of this thing, and I saw Sage coming at the last second. I was like, "Oh, come on, I got to finish all the way."
Honestly, it is nice when that happens. There were some incidents ahead of you from the drivers, but I think they were far enough ahead that you probably didn't have any close calls, right?
Yeah, the only real clincher was on the start when we had a couple of spins up front, and I was far enough back where it didn't. I saw the smoke, and by the time I realized what was going on, I was past it, and then the yellow flew, and a little bit of chaos there. But I think these guys are every single driver in this league is just top notch, and handled it very well. And I don't think I've seen yellow on a road course in years. So that was kind of a thing. But yeah, I feel certainly redeemed myself from last week. That was kind of a thing. But yeah, a solid run. I'm really happy with it.
Good deal. Good luck to you the rest of the way. You'll pick up some points, move up the standings a bit.
Thanks, Soup. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching.
Paul Jenkins, lead lap race. Okay, Brian, let's take one more shot at it.
Yeah, George, do you got a copy? That's a negative, Ghost Rider. Well, we'd love to talk to you, George.
Hey, we got it.
Hey, technology. So, George, tell us about your night.
Well, it was kind of exciting. I didn't do as good as I thought I could in qualifying, but I didn't think I was going to be able to beat Sage. Congrats to Sage, by the way. Nice run to Dave. Yeah, it was real difficult. It seemed like it was slippery out there, and that yellow caught us off guard. That took away the fuel savings. I think I could have done a lot better because I had already ran a couple warm-up races and was able to have no problem saving fuel.
I mean, the caution did kind of throw a big wrench into things, but I mean, from there on, it seemed like you had a very solid attack plan as you were coming across cars and as you kind of maneuvering through this place. Heard a lot of guys talk about how the track was very tough. How did it feel to you?
As compared to the warm-up races, it felt slower in the draft. I would have rather got out in clean air. I think the car was a lot faster in clean air.
I mean, every racer will tell you that, especially getting out into clean air, especially with this car too. I mean, we're coming down to it. Next round here, we're going to take another 2 weeks off, but we'll be back at ISM there in Phoenix. How are you feeling about your chances on an oval? I know you don't not necessarily your favorite, but
Well, I'll sure give it my best. I'm kind of enjoying them, so I definitely will put in some track time and see what I can do.
sounds like a solid plan. We will catch up with you down the road then, George.
Alrighty, thanks. Great broadcast, guys.
George Sandman coming home in third position tonight. That's going to do it for us here on the Global Sim Racing channel. But before you leave us, let me tell you all the people that made this possible. How about Butt Kicker? Their products add instant immersion to any game. Unlike a subwoofer that moves air and loses accuracy and force, Butt Kicker products move actual mass, producing what I like to call haptic immersion. That's powerful and accurate. Butt Kicker products add that missing drive-to-car connection, bringing you more realism and immersion to your session. See all the family of Butt Kicker products at thebuttkicker.com. Use promo code LION25 to get 25% off your order. Brian?
Well, from there we go into Sim Experience. Yeah, making me read this promo twice.
Yeah, I changed it because it's too technical. I'll never get through
I'll read it. I'll get it. I'll get
Okay.
it. Sim Experience, the makers of the AccuForce Pro V2 Complete, the premier professional racing simulation steering system. The key to the AccuForce Pro is the incredible... Let me back that up. Let me try that one again. The key to the AccuForce Pro incredible realism is the groundbreaking direct drive motor control system, providing a driving experience that, when combined with today's best racing simulators, is as close as you're going to get to driving the real thing. For more information on the entire Sim Experience ecosystem, including the Sim Vibe, software, 3DOF, stage series motion, and the GS5 G-Force seat, visit simexperience.com.
You get the next one too.
And so from there, you see all these happy sponsors on the screen. Contact any of them that you see on the screen right now. Go to lionheartracingseries.com, click on 2019 sponsors, read or scroll to the bottom where you can click the company logos and really kind of see what great companies have partnered with Lionheart this season.
On the screen now are some of the companies that give us software that made this broadcast possible. The iconic original music that lets your ears alert your eyes. Hey, you're watching a GSRC production that comes courtesy of June Lalonde. See the screen to how to contact her.
And then the Lionheart IndyCar. Oh, yep.
That was okay.
The Lionheart IndyCar series returns in 2 weeks, or not the IndyCar series, the Retro Series returns in 2 weeks, Thursday, May 2nd, for round 475 laps at the ISM Raceway. GSRC and IESN will be there to bring you all of the action, and we hope that you join us. Next broadcast on the iRacing Esports Network is the F3 Championship Round 3 from Suzuka. Race Spots coverage begins Friday, April 19th at 5:20 p.m. Eastern.
All right, you're done now. I can take it from here. Sliding across your screen now are just some of the upcoming broadcasts, so check those out and mark them down on your calendar. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including a complete list of future broadcasts, you can find it at globalsimracingchannel.com. We're also on Twitter at GSR Channel, Facebook at Global Sim Racing Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_Graham. And if you haven't done so yet, become a GSRC YouTube subscriber by heading over to our YouTube page and clicking on that big red button. Finally, on behalf of the entire crew, that would be Brian, Amjad, and Dougie, we'd like to thank all of you for watching. And what's got our win? Oh, Sage Karen picks up his second win in a row here. That's right, I commentated on it. I just talked to him here at the Plasma Tracks Grand Prix of Sebring. Last sentence, I think I can do this one because I've said it many times. We're off to have fun, storm of the castle. So until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.